24/7 Tactical here. Today we're doing a side-by-side comparison test between two polyurethane self-healing targets.
So the two companies we have are Throom, the green target, and Double Action Reactive Targets, the red target. Both claim that they have the best target on the market, so we're gonna figure out which one's the best.
Today we're here with two targets, one from Double Action Reactive Targets and one from Throom. They're both reactive targets, self-healing polyurethane targets. These two right here are pretty similar in thickness. They carry about the same amount of weight. Very similar design, hang the exact same way. Then we also have these targets, two knockdown targets. These do have a little bit of a difference in thickness, with the Double Action Reactive being a little bit thicker and a little bit more hefty. Same mounting styles. One of the biggest differences between these two is how they mark your hits. With the Throom targets here, they come with this sticker, which is essentially a shoot and see style target where your hits will be marked on here. With the Double Action Reactive Targets, it's a heat reactive target, so when a round passes through it, the color will change to a yellow to show you your hits, and will return back to the red when it cools back down.
So today we're going to be shooting all four of these targets with 500 rounds of 9mm through the Wyndham ARs with DigiTrigger 2.2s installed. Big shout out to DigiTrigger for having us out here today and letting us do this review with their range and their weapons. Thank you very much. Right now we're going to mount these targets to the stand and we'll show you how it's done.
So we will be shooting the targets with identical Wyndham rifles provided by DigiTrigger, equipped with DigiTrigger 2.2s.
And then to finish, we're going to hit it with a couple of slugs and then do a meltdown test and see the temperature differences.
We're going to start off with 100 rounds each on each target, and then we're going to go down and assess the damage.
Nice. Yeah, the mag was...
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm taking off the shoot and see so we can look at the groupings underneath. The shoot and see highlights make it a little bit harder to focus on your groupings, but on the back side of the target, there's a small hole in the center grouping with a little line going down through it. Not a whole lot of damage from the back. Looks pretty intact.
So I had the Double Action Reactive Target. It held up pretty well in the front through the first 100 rounds. Small hole starting to form right there in the center of that group, and then the back side, it really took a sizable chunk out of the back, but I think it's still ready for some more.
So we're gonna go to 500 rounds now, come back and take another look at them. We just got done shooting 500 rounds of 9mm through the poly targets. So now we're gonna take some slugs and some buckshot to the hanging targets and see what happens. With the slugs, now we're gonna give them the heat test. Both these targets are registering about 72 degrees Fahrenheit, so without further ado.
Go ahead. What do you got?
525 is the highest I've seen.
Okay.
Right now it's at 330, 350. It's coming down, starting to come down. It's at 360 right now, 350.
350 then.
All right. Melted it effectively. And you said 5 what?
525 is what I believe I
525,
said.
We held it for about 10 seconds. So,
Sustained like 350.
yeah, so we'll stay. All right. Get a reading on that. What's that one at?
Now it says 66. Oh, no, back up to 75.
All right, so we're in the 70 range again.
Good.
567. And now it's at 270, 255, 255.
All right. Now hit that.
460, 570, 550, 540, 530, 520. It's dropping. 560-ish.
All right, show this one. I want to melt this one off. Now we're going to have to move this.
Ooh, 675, back down to 540, 530, 560, 450. Oh wait, 550 I meant. 560, 570.
That one's taking heat a lot better. I mean, that one seems to be retaining. I don't know. I mean, it looks like that one's thicker still. The other one melted pretty good, and we had it only up to 5 something. This one hit 6.
Yeah.
They both look miserable compared to where we started.
Yeah, they both look like Frisbees now.
But you know what's interesting?
This one's like bubbling.
Well, not just that, but the heels of, I mean, the holes have all pretty much, all the smaller holes have all fixed themselves.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I guess that's where the bubbles are coming from. I wonder if you heated them up just like a little. So that wraps up the shooting portion of this video, and now we're going to move into some final thoughts. Overall, both targets performed well and do what they say they will do. For our winner, we're going to pick the Throom target for the overall durability after our torture test. We noticed with the double action reactive targets that the target was not as rigid as the Throom target was, and that there seemed to be more missing chunks from our groupings. The missing chunks out of the double action reactive targets leave areas that seem more flimsy and more ready to fall apart than those on the Throom target. One thing we do want to mention is that the bases of the targets had different results. We do think that the base on the double action reactive target was a little bit more durable after doing the torture test on the bases themselves, as well as the mounting was a little bit better in the sense of the angle that you drill the screws through the mount. Eventually, we would like to try out these targets with some higher caliber rifle rounds to better test these targets. Until then, a big shout out to Throom as well as Double Action Reactive Targets for sending out their targets for us to test, as well as a big shout out to DigiTrigger for allowing us to come out to their property and providing the rifles for us to do the test with.
Hey, clap at the same time as me. Ready? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Good. That'll get me in between. All right, let's run it. Is that recording? Hold on, let me see if I can put it on.